Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Legend. So we've hit the point where I think things are going to get really difficult. We may see a sharp turnaround in our battle effectiveness from this point. Hold on, before we get into what we're doing today, 32 stockpiles, man. I sure hope that dust eclipse actually happens. Let's talk about our actual current position, how close we are to winning the game, and how we will get to actually winning. First of all, notice this. This is very concerning. Like I said before, the score algorithm is heavily biased in favor of territory. We have twice as many cities as Purple does, and yet Purple has a higher score than we do. That's really bad. It means that Purple is considerably ahead of us on a number of metrics. So let's dive in here, and we're going to dive in here and have a look at what those actually are. But, to be clear, we need 28 regions to achieve victory. We currently have 20. That means we need to take 7 regions total off of Purple and Green and go get that one island region to the southwest that we know about. Green does not have enough regions to sustain us, so we're going to have to go to war with Purple, despite the fact that they are terrifying, no matter how this goes. I mean, it is what it is. We have to take 7 regions off of Purple. We could try to take a couple regions off Purple, like Blitzkrieg them, and then once we've rolled back their border a little bit, see if we can get them to accept peace due to, you know, the shock of the attack, and then finish off Green and get the rest of our regions that way. But at this point, we'd have to take at least 3 regions from Purple, and that's assuming that Purple does not take any more regions from Green. We know that Green used to have more territory, so I don't think that that's necessarily going to work. I think we're probably going to have to just take 7 regions off of Purple here. Okay, which looks like it might be a real challenge, given that our army is ranking somewhere around, I don't know, 9,000-ish abstract military power units, while Purple has crested 40,000. Obviously, we're doing a lot better than they are on districts. Our population is great. Their research, of course, vastly eclipsing our own. Here's what I'm really worried about. They're actually producing more than I am, which means that they can produce more troops than we can. Now, keep in mind, the fact that they can produce more troops than we can via cities does not necessarily mean that they can make troops faster than we can, as long as we're continuing to get proliferation going. So it's very important that we protect our proliferators and use them well in the coming war. Yeah, our dust has been in the toilet. I mean, the rest of this kind of doesn't matter. So, 2 turns until we can assimilate another minor faction, and 2 turns until we enter Era 4. Once we've entered Era 4, every Battleborn that we create will be, first of all, 1 level higher, and secondly, decked out in all Tier 1 dust gear instead of Tier 3 iron gear, which is a pretty significant difference, particularly, I believe, in terms of maximum HP. So, in 2 turns, we're going to be better equipped to fight. Boy. I mean, we got to come around to Belloc. Belloc just fell, right? So this is why it's not very well defended, and we got to take advantage of that while we can. But we probably want to attack it from Tuldroj to try to lessen their ability to send units to Tuldroj and take it. And we're pretty fast, and we have roads built up. Also, our units are actually pretty injured, and we haven't really been regenerating. In part, that's been because of the fact that that open wounds event was running, but also, as you can see at the bottom of the tooltip over there on the left side, we can't regen health on volcanic terrain. Normal units cannot regen health on volcano terrain. So, we need to get the heck out of here in order to let our troops recover, and given our rate of recovery, I'm sure that this is not more than a 2-turn job. Alright, you guys used all your movement getting in the water. Who else needs orders? Alright, we have to come down here and deal with this. So I don't really know what we're facing down here, but we have to at least have somebody in position to stop them from taking the capital. And probably stop them from taking Tid, because we kind of need that. I'm noticing that we have a watchtower base here, and it might actually be really good for us to have that watchtower up. What are we talking about in terms of cost there? 566? We could rush the Necrodrone instead, but you know what? I need this information to make decisions like pretty much right now. We have a couple of new foragers. Let's get these guys all together. Okay, I think we are ready to move on. Nope, never mind. We are not ready to move on. We got to make units. Well, Uska needs to make us a settler. But before we make the settler, we may as well equip our settler design with improved movement. Increase the cost considerably. What are we talking about? 5 turns? Yeah, that's fine. 5 turns is okay. Strahd is also not producing. So at this point, here's another important inflection point we've reached. We've kind of finished a lot of the buildings that I think will be useful. We will continue to pick up new buildings, probably as we continue to do research, but it's unlikely that we'll have them for long enough for them to matter. So at this point, in most places, the only things that we can build that will matter are troops, I think. We don't really need a whole army of proliferators. We need more bodies on the ground. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new unit design. We're going to build ourselves a second type of forager that does not require any strategics, just so that this is something we can pump out endlessly if we have to. So we're going to include, I guess, these two. Actually, am I going to include the Iron Ring? Here's a question. If the forager is using the axe and shield weapon combination, then we don't really need the ring. The shield has on it Sharp Sense already, and a tier 3 shield has Sharp Sense 3. Right, so this is what that looks like. If we are getting Sharp Sense 3 from our shield, we don't really need this ring. All it's giving is improved vision, and we only need 1 unit in each army to have good vision anyway. And if we take that off, we cut... Yeah, that's like 50 production. That's a significant amount off the cost. Or we could instead go for the claws, which are much more effective as weapons, but this will increase the cost of the unit because I will want to put Sharp Sense on. Like, we need to be protected from ranged attacks. We're going to be fighting a lot of archers. And we lose Range Slayer. The axe has Range Slayer, which is pretty valuable. And it's worth noting that the Sweep Strike Back from Claws is not very valuable against a force that's archer heavy, because of course we never perform a strike back. So I think actually let's go this way. This will just keep troops rolling in. Can be our plan for now. And we're going to have to redo that design in 2 turns when we get our native district available, but I want to start building them now. Here in New Delhi... Well, actually, here I think I want to make a burrow because we can get adjacent to this Palladian extractor to put up an intensifier whenever winter actually falls. It's been a while since we've seen a season change. Oh, and the new city needs orders. Probably the new city is just like units. And in fact, we can probably focus all of our industry on that. If we move everybody to science here, we're not even close to cutting a turn off of this research. Yeah, that's fine. 2 turns is fine. Okay, so yeah, as we finish these buildings, we're going to see a lot of we're going to be making a lot of troops from now on. We do have more dust than it looks like. This is making me a little nervous, just the dearth of bodies we have over here. That dust eclipse cannot happen soon enough, man. All right, let's roll it forward. See if we can get a little bit lucky with the sea regions. I'm not actually interested in trying to like maintain control of the sea or anything. Again, there's not that much game left, but we might be able to get a hold of a couple of points of strategics a little faster if we take over some sea fortresses that have some good facilities. So we can grab these while they're empty. Those are pretty close together. I think we got a moment here to go and dive some ruins. Let's see, that's a dive facility. What I'm thinking here is that it would be really cool if we could get some extra strategic flow, just for a few turns even. If we allow these things to sit neutrally controlled, as they are now, for long enough, they will eventually spawn neutral navies, which will take them back from us and would require us to build actual ships to defend against, which I obviously do not want to spend a lot of time doing. Also, that's interesting. Check that out. We can see an enemy unit here. So, as a refresher, 120 damage, 191 attack, 102 defense. actually really terrifying units. But they're vulnerable, of course, to being mobbed, as most ranged units are. We can crash their morale by surrounding them, and the fight will be considerably easier once we've done so. Alright, so next turn or the turn after is probably our declaration of war turn. Alright, we got Vision of Itlendi. That is unfortunate. There are 8 units in that garrison. Yeah, I mean, not much we can do about that. You have 3 vision, you have 5 vision. Let's have this guy come down here and real quick see if we can't get vision of that city. Ooh, also, we have vision of a green army. These two are still at war, right? I mean, almost certainly. Yes, okay. Man, necrophages look cool in orange. Everybody looks cool in orange. Okay, so I think... we don't have the movement to get over there. No, we're out of move entirely. I think it's okay to let green take Umalna. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that's fine. What I'm thinking here is that if green takes Umalna, that just removes this front from the war. It allows us to focus our efforts on these 2 cities that are close to each other, which is great for us in one way, because it means that, you know, enemies coming out of them are going to be coming from one direction, and horrible in another way, in that they may be able to contribute to each other's defense. Could be a real problem for us, but I bet if we attack this city from here to there, we can keep them out of the range. Unfortunately, I don't think there's any version of this where any of our troops get to be in range. So we got a couple of decent foragers. These are the... Forager 7 is the new design with the adamantium claws, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. Apparently cannot get vision of that city. Let's back off a little bit and try not to... I don't want them to be sending any more armies in this direction. I want them to feel distracted. That's another benefit to allowing green to take that city, is that it will increase the pressure that the AI are feeling. Okay, in this city we can definitely afford to focus on making real troops. Although, if I wait 1 turn... Is there anything productive I can do for a single turn? Because next turn we're going to be able to make troops with a new design that have some improved armor and stuff. You know what? We can retrofit on the fly. It'll be fine. Was that? Yeah, that's everybody. Everybody's building. So now let's talk about rushing troops, because we need more bodies on this front. This is only... Oh! It's only 435. Actually, that should be extremely reachable, thanks to the market. How much is this stuff selling for? Interesting. Maybe worth doing? Let's hold off for now. But what we can do is sell all of these luxuries that we are not going to build up enough of ever to get a booster going. Because again, the game is probably not... The game's not going to be long enough for me to build up a booster of this stuff. We are either going to win or lose before we will acquire another 80 gold. However... The die, on the other hand, we're probably pretty close on, right? And honestly, I probably should not have popped a wine booster. I probably should have, instead of saying, hey, let's see what happens, I should have done the math and figured out that the wine booster wasn't going to be enough for it to be meaningful and sold all that extra wine. That's definitely an error on my part. Okay, we're not going to commit another build here because, again, we're going to start with new designs next turn. What else? Tid... Still a little bit off of pushing for this adamantium extractor. Next turn we're going to be able to pull in another minor faction, which could be useful. And at this point we have 2 regions of Silic villages. That's almost certainly what we're doing, is assimilating the Silics. Yeah, so I guess there's nothing else to do this turn. Feels like there was something... whatever. Alright, so let's see what happens here. Either green is going to take this city, or green is going to throw themselves at this city and die, but weaken it considerably, allowing us to take it. This is my hope. This is what hope sounds like. Okay, there's a lot of Hyperium veins, a little bit of Mithrite available. We're being spied on, but they're just decreasing population. It's fine with me. Do not care about that. Okay, green takes this, is fine. Actually, come to right here. You have enough vision that you can probably see what the status of that city's garrison is. This is what I was saying. You really only need 1 unit with good vision in an army. Okay, so you guys can't launch an attack this turn anyway. Maybe we want to wait one more turn, and then we could hit the landing from this side. Although, honestly, with the amount of fortification we're seeing there, maybe we actually want to siege this down. Not that 100 is a lot of fortification, but 100 over 8 units is a lot. Which reminds me, they have that tech. So we need to pick that up as well. We need Signal Corps to allow us to have 8 slots in a garrison or army. And then once we have that, we need Brigade System, which is just 20% defense without having to build anything. It's just free stuff. We should take the free stuff. Let's, I guess, poke our heads up here. I'm not 100% sure what we're looking at in terms of reinforcements. What do we see over here? We see a city. Okay. We can definitely get away with more on this front than we can on that front, though, due to the double hero armies, each one having a proliferator and everything. Oh, you know what we need to do with hero armies? Now that we have a new tier of gear available, we need to re-equip our heroes. So, we've gained access to dust gear. I don't know how explicit I was about the way the non-strategic armor works, but basically, at the beginning of the game, you have access to Tier 1 iron versions of all of your basic gear slots. There's head, torso, and legs. Not all units have access to all those slots. And then, of course, your weapons, and each unit has access to a weapon or to a couple of types of weapons that it can wield. Every time you move up an era, you get access to a new tier of gear for all of those slots. So you go, Era 2 gives you Tier 2 iron, Era 3 gives you Tier 3 iron, Era 4 gives you Tier 1 dust, and then Tier 2 dust, Tier 3 dust for the remaining eras. Dust gear is more expensive than iron gear in terms of industry, and it has an additional dust cost. However, it's pretty trivial. By the time you're able to build units with dust gear, the cost of the dust gear will not be an issue. And I think the gap between Tier 3 iron and Tier 1 dust is bigger than the gap between Tier 2 iron and Tier 3 iron. So, like, for example, the helmet we're wearing right now is 18 health, 8% attack. This helmet is 28 health, 10% attack. That is maybe not something I actually want to equip. I'm not sure if I want to lose the attack. The chest piece goes from 14 defense, 40 health to 14 defense, 46 health. That is actually a pretty small change, but it is strictly better. And then here, 6 initiative, 9 defense, plus 8% defense versus 11 initiative, 12 defense, plus 10% health. I think the Dust Greaves are clearly an upgrade, and quite a bit so. However, our current boots are giving us attack, and I kind of think that's where I want to keep emphasizing the aggressive capabilities of our units. I'm pretty sure. Also, when you hit Era 4, you get access to some new trinkets. The iron trinkets do not keep leveling up. There's no 4th version of the movement trinket. You instead get access to some new ones that give you improved life and regeneration, and some army level ones that are one army level one that it appears is still bugged. Yep. For some reason, you have to turn on Show Obsolete to be able to see the Army Health Boost trinket sometimes. Not quite sure what causes that. But Army Health Boost is good, so let's try to find a slot for it here. The Eye of the Farthinker is probably less valuable now, moving up to these new enemies, than it used to be, so I think we can probably drop that. He's not going to get melee attacked all that much from here on. And we'll just replace that with Army Health Boost 1, giving our whole army 15 life plus 5% life. Seems pretty alright to me. We probably want to keep the rest of this stuff, right? Where are we at on initiative? Can we still see that enemy unit? No, there was a guy up there. So our Battleborn are in the neighborhood of like 60 to 80 initiative, depending on their gear. So we'll keep an eye on enemy units. See if that's actually, if losing the initiative boost would actually make a difference. Make sure we go through all of our heroes and fix their equipment real quick. I think we're going to do the same thing here. Let me uncheck this. And then recheck it, I guess. Now she has a personal initiative ring that I feel pretty comfortable dropping. We can grab this instead. Oh, she's using a Tier 2 Iron Shield, though. That's not acceptable. So we could give her the Dish of Kanuk if we waited a little bit. Block 3. It doesn't have Sharp Sense on it, which is interesting. It's a lot of defense, though. Or we could just go to a Dust Shield. 14 defense plus 15% versus 22 plus 30% and also 25% life. But you lose Sharp Sense, which is quite a bit of extra defense against ranged attacks, which is really all I'm concerned about with her. I think this might actually just be the better item in addition to being cheaper. So we'll stick with that. On our hero down here, we need to... And then we're going to have to deal with the unit designs in a second. Let's give you that. Oh, you're still using an iron weapon, too. All right, we'll fix that one up. Show me this thing. So she just has personal damage. Her damage isn't that great anyway. I kind of wonder if maybe we should replace that with an initiative boost. We have plenty of glass steel to play with. And then she needs a new weapon. It is not okay for her to be using a tier 3 iron weapon. So we could just go to tier 1 dust. We don't have the resources to do a Palladian Long Scepter, but man, the stats are 71 attack, 40 damage versus 15 attack, 12 damage. Like, we need to make that happen. Hold on a second. Apply. We are currently only pulling 1 Palladian per turn, which is not good. We had a Palladian extractor going up somewhere, didn't we? Yeah, here. 2 turns on that. Maybe accelerate that a little bit. Is there... Yeah, okay, this is the one extractor we have running, right. Okay, can we push this maybe a little bit? Love it if that was done this turn. And then, like I said, I think it's probably time we bring on the Silix. Oh, I thought we had 2 regions with Silix. Maybe not. Hold on. Was I mistaken? I mean, there's not a super easy way to actually check this. Well... Okay. Even if we did only have 1 Silix region, I still think that it's probably Silix. Because the Silic assimilation bonus is you get more stuff from strategic resource extractors. We could really, really use more strategics. There's an argument to be made, I think, for like going for these guys so that we can have a ranged unit that actually helps. If we had more Herna's villages, the attack bonus could be pretty significant. But I think the real problem we're going to have for the rest of the game is just that there's not enough metal to go around. So let's increase our metal income. Okay, Madanov needs to also... Oh, hold on. We're not telling anybody to build any troops this turn just yet, because I have to finish the designs. Okay, I guess this is the time for that. Also, wait, what luxuries do we have? Okay, just a smattering of stuff. If we had a bunch of one thing, I'd feel a little bit more comfortable. Alright, let's fix up our unit designs. That's the wrong button. There we go. First of all, obviously the foragers, at the very least, need to get this. Now let's talk about the Eye of the Farthinker. Do I really want to keep equipping this over, like, personal improved life? Which is 20% extra life. My concern is that we're not going to get a lot of use out of the free counter anymore now that we're going to be fighting a force that's almost entirely ranged. And I guess I don't know that they're almost entirely ranged, but their most basic unit is a ranged unit, and that makes me... Also, the AI definitely prioritizes assimilating ranged units, even with forces that already have ranged units, as we have seen. So I think I'm comfortable doing this. We'll keep the improved movement, of course. I think I'm going to keep the attack helmet and boots. A little bit of a toughness sacrifice in exchange for being better at committing murders, which is, you know, basically our nation's only meaningful export is murder. It's like improved life, improved damage for everybody. Seems like a pretty okay way to go. Of course, the basic forager gets... probably actually keeps the iron helmet, but we definitely want the dust greaves. Dust axe doesn't really look that much like an axe, but I'll trust him. I mean, it's not a great unit. But it sure doesn't cost any strategics. You can't argue with that. And then, like, we're not going to build Harmonite or Vine Snakes, probably. You do need a little bit of a push. Also, still using the Tier 2 Improved Movement Trinket. I can tell it's been a minute since I came and looked at this guy's gear. Do I like Sharp Sense 3 over Extra Life? Probably not, right? Because we're talking about a 40% defense increase to a pretty bad defense number. Like, this number is low enough that we're probably still eating damage and a half from most range attacks. So probably the better play is to try to have enough health to actually live through that. And definitely want to upgrade you. And there's absolutely no reason for you to be using an Iron Mage Wand when we could go to Dust. 18 attack, 20 damage, 6 health, and 16 initiative. Not actually that much better. A little bit of extra damage. Oh well. Still better. Okay, so now we have some more units to start building out here. You know what? I am going to start producing another Forager. Roll you into there. And next turn we'll fix our High Inquisitor's gear. So yeah, I guess we're going to hold off. The plan now is to hold off on the war declaration for a turn. We're pretty much in position. Oh, you know what? Actually, we don't have position to make attacks happen here anyway. Yeah, we need a turn either way. Okay, that's all right. These guys have 67 initiative. Our army's at 77 for the good guys. Initiative boost 2, providing 4 plus 10%. Actually, yeah, I think those 77 initiative Battleborns would be below the Marines. I think they'd be at plus 4 plus 10%. They'd be at 66, right? Or somewhere 65, 66. So yeah, I think it actually does matter. Weird. Okay. Alright, let's go get some more fortresses and prevent them. Nope, don't go there. Ah, well. I saw the lightning a little bit too late. My hands are slow. This is what happens when you become an old. Try to lock these down before they produce any neutral vessels, because we are not in a position to stop anybody from taking ships. So 2 and 5, we can probably burn these out really fast, actually. That's 2. This is handled. This is going to be tougher. We may be on the defensive a little bit here until this group of armies makes some more headway. But, like, the moment the Dust Eclipse begins, right, it's going to all of a sudden be so good. Okay, so Madanev also needs to be producing stuff. We are actually all the way out of dust right now, so let's fix that. I can afford to sell some stuff again. Again, I cannot conceive of this stuff having any value other than to be sold. Where are we at on dies relative to what it would take to pop a booster? Because we could actually use more influence to keep our Empire plan rolling. So, this is rough. We would have enough to pop a booster in 3 turns if we don't take any cities. But we definitely can't just sit for 3 turns, right? Let's produce another Forager. Yeah, like, we have to keep going. So, we may end up not being able to ever pop a dust booster. Oh well. 2 turns on Signal Corps. We do have an Empire plan coming up. I'm not going to stress about it. Like, it's definitely wrong to pull people off of other resources onto influence. Things are pretty tight, as they are. We are pulling in 105k, so we could just run our same plan again. Although, there's certainly something to be said for that. I don't think that it is at all reasonable for us to even reach 2,000. Man, that would be cool though, wouldn't it? What if we didn't do this part? Because we're kind of like done with research. Could we get 1,600? I think we're reliant on this still. Or at least we will be once winter hits. Is that going to happen It is guaranteed to happen within the next 20 turns. That's not the button I wanted at all. So yeah, I kind of like this. We get to 1,600. We have 6 turns. Yeah, actually, we're totally going to get to 1600. Okay, never mind. I don't need to think about this at all. And in fact, it's not unreasonable for us to hit 2000. I don't know why. I was thinking that this was like turn 78, because I usually do that math right before Empire Plan time. Although, keep in mind, the cost is going to change based on the number of cities we have. Right now, we're going to get there with a little bit of a buffer, but that may not actually be the case once we take these. Anyway, concerns for next turn, or maybe even later. Let's hit the button here. Yeah, I'm a little worried about this. This is way more units than I was hoping for. Now, Irad does have a 4-unit garrison and a considerable amount of defense. Same is true of Urian. Well, not the 4-unit, but, you know, they built defensive structures here. We're taking lightning damage up here. That's my bad. Oh. Okay, well, that is a horse of a different color, isn't it? So if there are already neutral vessels, it's not going to be possible for us to hold the fortresses here for any length of time. Debating running over there and grabbing that ruin. It's suicide, but also we're dead anyway, like... he only has 3 move. You know what? Maybe we could lead this this navy here off on a bit of a wild goose chase. I'm gonna try it. We're gonna drive. We're gonna fly. We're gonna boat. We're gonna ocean this way as fast as possible at the beginning of the turn, and hope that they follow, and maybe use this unit to recapture things. Unfortunately, that is a thing I'm supposed to pay attention to at the beginning of the turn. This guy, I assume, is moving to here, which is actually dangerous. Tuldrudge, Tuldrudge is going to need some defenses. Like, can we do some of this stuff? I could accelerate this stuff. It's actually quite cheap. Yeah, you know what? Let's get some defenses in place. We've got a militia up. Hopefully the other one will regenerate soon. We'll build some extra stuff here. The units from the volcano men, you know what I'm talking. I can't remember their names, but their units got kicked out of their golem camps when they died. These guys will get ejected as well, but they're not going to have anywhere safe to run to, so I want to make sure Tuldrudge isn't like easy pickings for them. And I think this is the turn where we attack. We do have some retrofits available, right, because the proliferator design's changed. I'm not too worried about that. We have any other... You need some orders. Oh, you know what else we need to do is we need to spend some money making... we need to spend some resources upgrading our Ardent Mage's weapon before we go into combat. So here, I would like to create units... I mean, yeah. Alright, let's make sure we've sold off our resources for the turn. Hopefully it won't be too expensive to change out that weapon. Let's do that first, because that's pretty important. So do we want to use... I probably want to use Palladian, right? Because we're more reliant on Adamantian for units. Yeah, you can see 8 Adamantian now and 4 Palladian. Wait a second. Wait a second. Plus 1 resource per pacified and rebuilt Silix village. Or, well, 1 resource total, right? Because we have 2 villages. Why are we suddenly getting 4 of these? We were getting 1. We finished an extractor. And then with this, we should be at 3. Hold on, was I... There's not really a super easy way to check this, but I'm wondering if I was right and we had 4 Silix villages and it's just, like, not showing us the right numbers here. Because I thought we had 2 Silic regions. No, just 1. Huh. We haven't taken over an ocean facility that boosts the rate of our strategic income, have we? No. These are all resources. Well, I mean, I'm not going to look the gift horse in the mouth too much. I guess we'll see if we actually get 4. Because we definitely only got 2 on this last turn. Which is what we would have expected, right? The normal rate of 1 plus 1 for the assimilation. And then this extractor finished after we got resources for the turn. So yeah. Oh, no, because it's plus 1 on each extractor. Yeah, that's why it's 4. Because we have 2 extractors now giving 2 each. It's not plus 1 total. It's plus 1 on each extractor. That's what happens when... Look at how much of that text is obscured. Stuff I should know, but I obviously don't. Okay, so I think we do want to go with the Palladian weapon here so as to save as much adamantine as possible for our troops, which is to say that we need more dust. We would need 2 turns of not taking a city for this to be poppable. If we take one of those cities, it's going to increase to 110. I'm just going to sell the dies. We're not quite going to get the booster, and also I don't know that we care that much. Let's just dump the die supply. Use that to finance our changes here. Definitely want to keep rolling exhaustion, I think. Actually, hold on, before I do this. We can see a unit up here, right? Oh, no, yeah. All we can see is their embarked stats now. I think they had like 100 defense. So... yeah, our unit's attack is... oh, wow. A lot of our units have really bad attack. Never mind, we totally need the defense debuff. New Battleborn that are created on this turn or later will not have this problem quite so badly. And then here we will build troops. We can build any kind of troops. So it is worth noting that any enemy unit that's using a longbow will have Flying Slayer 4. So Necro Drones are not necessarily the thing that we want. I should have explained that earlier because that's why I made a basic Forager design instead of a basic Necro Drone design. So I was thinking Necro Drones are likely to take a lot of extra damage. So 106 attack, 78 damage. These guys are quite a bit better. Alright. Need to work on that. And with that, I think it is time to declare war. Now, I guess I wasn't factoring the cost of doing this into our, that's expensive. Alright, well, let's take some cities and then figure it out from there. So, I don't think... oh, we can afford to do retrofits in these armies as well now. I don't think that it makes any sense for me to do anything here other than just go right at them. Right, yeah, we can do this in a way that doesn't include either the other city garrison or the Golem camp units in the battle. So let's just do it. I don't really think we want to delay at all. Alright, we want to try to make sure, do not include these guys as reinforcements because I want them to have their own action point for attacking the other city. Although, we may not. We may want to use both armies for that. But in any case, we got to make sure that we get as many Battleborn as possible off of these militia. Which is to say, 2. We got to make sure we get 2 Battleborn. So let's put you here, surrounded by friends. Like, really surrounded by friends. Okay. So we want to apply just enough units to this militia to maybe kill it. We don't want anybody to hit that guy at all. This is the plan. You attack here, you attack there, you attack there. Everybody else stand perfectly still. The best case scenario here is we kill this guy right before his turn. So I guess actually, you do this. You don't move. No, never mind. You be aggressive. It's fine. I'm just thinking, like, there's no version of this, right, where we tear through both of them with just these 4 attacks. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, so there's 1 infection. There goes his fortification. I may be attacked with too few people. Hero does good work, though. Alright, everybody's back on offense. You know what? I don't think I realized that they actually have 241 normal health. That's a lot. Okay, we're going to get 2 Battleborn here, which is good because we might conceivably actually lose a unit, depending on how stuff goes with these guys. Alright, never mind. Everything's fine. All of a sudden, we're hitting as hard as I thought we were going to hit. So there's a city and 2 Battleborn, which is great. And so let's do a quick stat comparison. These guys are level 3. The new guys are level 1. I thought they came out at the appropriate level for the age, but I guess not. So these guys at level 3, 115 attack, 91 damage, versus 107 attack, 97 damage, but also, note, 338 max life versus 312, and these guys are level 1. They're going to get those first couple of levels pretty quickly, and when they are level 3, their stats are going to be considerably better than these guys. So, I don't know that I'm not going to separate those two out. I'm going to separate these 2 old level 1s out. And we're going to send them this way for vision. I mean, this is the end of the continent, right? So I can't assume there's going to be anything relevant up here. There's actually some ruins we've never searched up here as well. Why don't we have at you from this angle so that I can grab that ruin while I'm doing it. And we have here a Dust Orchid Extractor, which is cool. We got Lust for Loot. Hero Army needs to search that. You know, that could be done. Lust for Loot at this point in the game is, like, potentially super valuable. So that's 35 die. If we hadn't sold our die, we could have used the die booster. I think it was still the right call to do things the way we did things, but that sucks. Also, you're expecting me to believe that the Vaulters don't have alchemy workshops. They're getting all this science done with no alchemy workshops. It's ridiculous. So do I actually want to fight? These guys are born without action points because they come out of a battle. So maybe we want to do 1 turn of damaging their fortifications, so that we can initiate the battle next turn with the first Ba'ek Swarm. But it does need to come over here and attack these guys pretty quickly before they get into Tuldraj. I guess Tuldraj is going to have extra fortification and stuff. We're probably fine. So where are... If we attack from right here... Yes, that's pretty non-ideal. We could have these guys run all the way over into range. I think my plan's going to be to attack from this space. Yeah, I guess we're just going to stay where we are. Let's see. 4 spaces out from the axis of attack. So if we attack from here, 2, 3, this would be the closest space that is... or the furthest space that still reinforces. We'll start our turn here, then. I think that's pretty reasonable. Now let's figure out what we're doing down here. I am a little nervous. I think we cannot fight through 800 extra HP on top of whatever units they have with just the stuff we have to play with here. Actually... do we want to move some foragers in? No, you know what? I want to keep the fast units in the reinforcing army. Battleborn, who are coming in via reinforcement slots, will probably, like, never join the battle. Yeah, I'm gonna hope that this turns out to be okay. We can respond pretty quickly to attacks on Irad. And then we don't really want this army to get in range, even though... yeah, I don't want this army to be in range, even though they would help to tear down the fortifications a little faster, because I don't want them to be able to be attacked. Right, they could spawn 6 units out and attack this army then, and that seems pretty bad to me. So we'll just hang out nearby. Honestly, right here, where we can keep an eye on anything coming in against Irad is probably fine. We're definitely within reinforcement range, yeah. Okay. A little nervous. We're 4 turns left on that settler. That's fine. It's going to take us more than 4 turns to get the territory we need from purple. So I guess I'm not really super hard up to pay attention to anything else. This can be what we're looking at the beginning of our turn. Although, It doesn't even really need to be. I'm gonna have this guy go to here. And the plan there is just to like try to keep these guys from accidentally glimpsing him. So we'll mash the heck out of that button. We'll initiate combat over here. Now we have Signal Corps. We actually can just have 8 units per army. Oh, they built another unit there. Okay, so that's locked up. That's happening. The Sea Serpent is coming for us. Attack. Okay, lots and lots of stuff is occurring. A worrying amount of stuff is occurring, actually. Karis is leveling up. He's close to getting Rallying Call. It'll be very, very helpful. We got our attack. Hold on, we'll deal with this in a minute. So this is the battle we started. This is all my troops have been destroyed. Oh, they took... Right. Wait, Belloc? Wait. What was that? What the heck even is Belloc? Which... Too many damn regions. Yeah, okay, they retook... That's fine. We retake Belloc the next turn. It does require our units to kind of, like, divert a little bit. It slows down our push. But, that's whatever. Yep, so that happens. It generated a second attack notification for that. A third notification for that. And then a second notification for this. So actually, all of that, so many battle things popped up there, and none of them were consequential. Alright, let's have at these guys. What do we got? We got Militia. We have a Vine Snake 8, which actually, pretty good stats. No defense, though. An Orc 3, only 71 damage. Great attack. Scary Marine 8. And a Dawn Officer 2 with a lot of life and a lot of defense, but not a lot of actual danger. Okay, yeah. Let's see if we can get 6 more Battleborn. Also, where the hell is my Dust Eclipse? This looks about right. How fast is that Dawn Officer? Where is he? He's in the back here. He has 7 move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so he cannot get to the Proliferator no matter what. So we're going to want to kill the Vine Snake first, probably. So actually, we could start over here a little bit. I guess there's the concern going in this way of them having vastly superior morale, which I do not love. So we could stand back and at least let... Well, the Orc's not in high morale. The Militia, it doesn't really matter if their morale is high because they're just kind of bad units. Honestly, these Militia are not that bad. Glad we're not running a lot of cavalry. Okay, so we're giving the Dawn Officer, by doing this, we're giving the Dawn Officer a little bit more ability to interfere with our ranged. He has to go around, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, never mind. We're fine. We're fine because it's all forests. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. His move ends here. Okay. The first, yeah, whoever's at the top of the initiative order needs to be right in front of the snake because we want them to hit the snake first so that it doesn't get any benefit from sweep strike back. Okay. So you are hitting him, and you are hitting him, you are hitting him. You are hitting him. I'm going to have this guy just go after the ranged. He's going to get murdered, but nothing for it. Somebody's got to get over there. Actually, we could have this guy attack like this, and this guy move to here. And then if one of them dies, the other one still gets to attack. You are... Sure, head for that guy. You should probably head for this guy. Now, you know what? Go after that Dawn Officer. He will have spent his attack already, and he may move close enough that that could actually happen. No, never mind. He will not move close enough that that could actually happen. But it's still right. so he got his 7 move in there. Wow. Powerful moves there. I might go so far as to say, somewhat inadvisable. Well, they did some different things than I thought they were going to do, that's for sure. Alright, we've hacked through a fair amount of their defenses. It looks like the Dawn Officer is probably not the next one dead. Probably the next one dead is this guy, right? So let's, like, move to here and shoot him. Sorry, move to here and shoot him. It sometimes eats my clicks. I'm trying to direct my guys to fight in a way that is sensible. So the first person... what we probably want to do is have this guy move somewhere else. And then have this guy attack the Vine Snake again, just trying to minimize the effect of Sweep Strike Back. And I have him step back to here. So we attack there, the Sweep Strike Back happens like this. And then we have people try to finish the job. Oh, I clicked outside the area of the battle, apparently. Okay, you get him. Yeah, I think this is all reasonable. It could have gotten busted up a little bit by that guy choosing to attack our proliferator, but not smart enough, it would seem. Okay, so when this guy dies, as he should at the beginning of his next turn, he's going to spread some disease around for us. Oh, never mind, I had another attack on him. Not strictly necessary, turns out. Oh, and here's the other proliferator. Okay, now it gets real. So who isn't proliferated on? Is it everybody? Yeah, we got the 2. We killed the 2 that had already been parasited. But we get to parasite 2 more this turn. So you need to get that guy. He's definitely dead. And then the units that are acting... maybe we need to reverse the order on this. Can you actually reach him? You cannot. Well, we may not get... yeah, we may just not be able to get parasites from everybody. So can we have the units that are attacking before the second proliferator hit things that are not this guy? I could have 1 unit hit that guy, it won't be a big deal. Yeah, in fact, okay, no, we're totally fine. You should focus on making sure that these things die. Okay. That Dawn Officer has all of a sudden gone Galaxy Brain on us. That's a little unfortunate. I don't really want to lose a proliferator. Wow, double zeros, huh? Okay, there we go. That's an actual attack. Okay, so he doesn't actually get the parasite if I don't attack him. The proliferator's counterattack does not parasite. You also don't have it. Yeah, none of the people who are alive right now have it. This guy's screwing everything up. Damn it. Oh! Okay. He left it alive with 3 health. That's actually huge. Because I think we're gonna be able to kill him. Okay. It wasn't perfect, but what did we get? 4 parasites there? Still pretty good. Yeah, 4. We only lost 1 unit. Alright, that's a pretty good beginning to that thing. Oh, Allegra gets +1 range on battle in ranged units. Unfortunately, that just affects her and her proliferator, but still, it affects her and the proliferator. That's, like, not nothing. I want to make sure we're continuing to use the best Battleborn in the main force. Let's have these 3... Oh, sorry, we only have to pull 1 guy. That's right. Let's have this guy be the one who gets pulled. So we'll grab Belloc back, no problem, on our next turn. What was in here? It was 2 of those Dawn Officers and 1 of those Vine Snakes. That's not too bad. We can handle that. You have no movement, because I moved a unit into there with no movement remaining. Wow, we really cannot build anything here. Don't really want to build defensive buildings on a city that could potentially get lost again. Let's just start with that, I guess. And is that... Yep, there is an extractor on that Mithrite already. Pretty handy. It is nice to be able to steal the AI's stuff, because their stuff's a lot better than ours is, on account of them being able to cheat for the entirety of the game. Okay, Tid is way behind on city development relative to a bunch of our other cities, but it's also probably a place where we have to build troops now. Where are we at on this forager? How expensive is 1,100? With about 110 coming off of that cost every turn. Obviously, it'd be cool if we could get that a little bit lower. Here in Tuldraj, probably just troops, right? Make some basic foragers. You know what I actually haven't been looking at? On their marines, are we looking at longbows? Or no, they're using crossbows. So actually, necrodrones are probably pretty reasonable to use. So maybe we want to go and create ourselves a basic necrodrone design. I mean, it's reasonable to have both of these things, right? Dust Claws, Dust Chest, actually Iron Helm, and then movement and also health. Validate and give me that instead. Boy, that's a lot more turns. No, I guess you're fine where you are. Yeah, we're just gonna wait. Okay, so they brought in another unit. So wait, they had 8 units in the garrison, and we had them sieged. Now they have 9 units, but you can't queue a unit for build unless the garrison's... Oh no, you can queue a unit for build, but no work will be done on it if the garrison's full. So the earliest they could have started working on a unit is this turn after they had ejected guys from their garrison. How did they end up with 9 units here this turn? Even if they bought something out this turn, it still wouldn't come out until... you know what, they could have... I think they could have queued something and rushed it last turn. No. Oh, you know what? They have teleportation. I'm pretty sure Vaulters, when their strategic booster is running, they can teleport units from one city to another. So that might be what happened. They teleported a unit in here, and then they bumped some guys out of the garrison so that they could queue up another unit build. That's probably what happened. Well, that means they're building a unit. We don't have all day here. But also, I really need to get some more units done before we're ready to either that or this fortification level needs to come down before we're ready to attack. 191, 104. These orcs are a lot better than the other orc 2s. I guess these ones are level 6. May have something to do with it. Okay, well, keep on building, everybody. Yeah. Let's keep an eye on this. So what we want, how we want to do this probably is we want this to be Allegra attacking the city. Is what starts this battle. Oh, that guy's not actually in range. I could have it be Allegra attacks this guy, but my concern is he retreats, and then we have no action points left to take the city. No, actually, that's totally what we want to do. We attack this guy, we don't bring this army in as reinforcements, because I think we win this fight without them either way. Although this, if they bring in their reinforcements, it'll be a little close. And then this army has an action point left next turn, and it can take the city back. That's probably fine. We're going to starve someone in Tuldraj. We need people on food in Tuldraj. Fair enough. I am going to step right here, though. And if these guys move in a step, we can have at them. I'm on. Okay. So now we attack the city. That locks everybody in. I'm going to not include these guys as reinforcements. They generated a militia? Really? Yeah, okay. Let's include those guys as reinforcements. That's probably a whole thing that's happening. Oh, and a dearth of dust has begun. We are not actually negative right now, but it's not great. We'll deal with that in a second. So we're doing this battle here, and... Oh, right. They have given chase. Well, let's go search a sea ruin. The good news is, I now have a full turn's worth of movement that I can use to move away from them. And then I get to do another full turn's worth of movement before they get to move on us, provided I remember to hit the button. So we should be able to continue leading them away. And then this ship can come down here and grab this. What did we just get? We got spices and even more glass steel? Man. It's a shame glass steel is the worst of the resources in terms of getting strategics. Alright, well, let's include everybody in case they include everybody. I don't really need to have extra bodies left over for this one, since we are attacking the city right away. Boy, everybody's before the the proliferator now. Oh. Okay. They've chosen not to include any other units in the battle. I'm going to just... Oh, wait. Accept orders. There we go. And have all the units that move before the proliferator be very careful about their damage dealing. This thing needs to be alive. Okay. Look at all that range. This is quite a bit of cowardice on their part. Okay, so they've merged up. We're gonna obviously crush them on the coming turn. How much movement do you have? Not enough to get over there and get back, but I think from right here we should... Yeah, okay, we can participate in the battle from here. My proliferator is healing slowly. And then we can advance on them a little bit more. Alright, Morris, man. Oh, we still have villages to rebuild. This place is a mess. It's crazy considering how early of a city that was. But I guess, actually, never mind. It's not that crazy. A lot of that has to do with the fact that my cities are just always going to be behind where their cities are. Build a real Necrodrone. Oh, boy. Let's build a basic Necrodrone. I'm just thinking I don't want to spend valuable strategics there and then have that tied up for 20 turns. Okay, over here, we're definitely going to wait one more turn. Maybe even more than that. We'll see. You have to have 491 to rush any of these units, which we can probably generate, right? We're generating a lot of miscellaneous resources at this point. Yeah, we're cool. We're good. Everything's fine. So let's pop this one out. He's a little closer. We could sell strategics as well. It'd be really cool if we had both of these foragers available, although this one's a basic. 491 though, like we could really afford to part with quite a bit of this stuff. Driving the prices down while we're selling, of course. Alright. They're likely to attack us as the turn starts, but if they don't, we can rush in here and fill. Let's try to put ourselves in a position where we can combine these all into a single army too. That's just for me, for organizational reasons. Okay, so now that we have Belloc back again, I guess let's get back on... Oh, they put a bunch of work into the alchemy workshop for us while they had the city for a turn, I guess. So it's quite close to done now. Okay, so we actually have a huge number of things we have to do right away at the beginning of the turn, which sucks. We must remember to mash this button, though, otherwise our guy out in that boat is absolutely dead. And it's become winter without there being a dust eclipse. Of course it has. Well... yeah, that sucks a huge amount. Okay, they're decreasing our... like, I'm not even looking at what they're doing. We got the good winter event. Nothing they could do with their spies matters at all, except lowering our morale. As long as they're not doing that, I don't actually care. Okay, so let's resolve this battle first. This matters somewhat. Yeah, I hate the unpredictability of the dust eclipse. There's probably a building or something that you can get that helps to mitigate that, is my guess. Because, you know, like, there's a building you can get eventually that lowers the amount of uncertainty in the coming of winter. Something like that would be really nice to have. Okay, so we don't have anybody in this army who's capable of getting to that marine, but any unit that's on this side can at least think about it. Put you here and you there. Fire over the rocks, but we're not in danger of actually getting attacked. And yeah, I think this is right. So, this guy dies first, right? I mean, the marine also is high priority, but I think we're going to try to kill this guy first. It would be really great if you could move here and you... that's a forest space. Never mind. I guess nobody else is going to get on this dude this turn, but that's okay. We only need one enemy. Or we only need one guy on him this turn. It doesn't matter which one of these two you attack. Just kind of generally tell people to move forward. I want to make sure we're attacking units on our side of the divide here, because I don't want our units running across. I want them running down as much as possible. And if they want to move their Dawn officers forward at full speed... oh, I guess this guy's not going to be there. Well, do your best. If they move their Dawn officers forward at full speed, they get pretty deep. Oh, they didn't move them at all. Huh. Well, I have to say I'm a little surprised by that. Wow, good hit. There we go. We got some stats again. Okay. That is full disease penetration on turn 1. 100% of enemy units are diseased. Yeah, this guy's next. I mean, do what you can. Yeah, at this point, we're starting to lose containment of the situation. So we got them walled up, but we are no longer in control of who attacks when and where. Wow, that's a direction for you to run in. It's almost like you're trying to make yourself more vulnerable to the Dawn Warriors. Or the Dawn Officers, rather. Okay, so you need to back way the hell off if they let you. Alright, they're more interested in fighting Battleborn. Fair enough. I'm not going to stress too much about trying to get Battleborn off of everybody, in part because I don't think we have that level of control. Stuff's going to happen as it happens here. Okay, we get 3 Battleborn, and we definitely lost at least 1 unit, but it might end up being only 1 unit, depending on how stuff works out. Although we really just cannot deal damage to these archers. There we go. Hero shows up for work. He knows what's happening. Okay, so I think that was 2 Battleborn dead, but they were probably weaker Battleborn, so they will be replaced with stronger ones. Just gotta keep the corpse mill running, as incredibly gross as that is. No, we did in fact only lose 1, gain 3. Okay. Fair enough. Would you please actually search this ruin? Alright, next is 40 Palladium. There we go, that's what I'm looking for. Also, apparently, we had never normally searched that ruin. There's an avenging army. Oh, okay. Here, we should manual this, because, again, as always, proliferation. So you get to attack him. You get to attack him. Need to be a little careful here, because these guys are weak. Then you also may attack this guy. You may attack this guy. Everybody else needs to chill out. These guys are soft targets. You're allowed to attack. You are not. Want to exercise control here. These attacks are just to keep them from moving. Okay. So you and everybody after you in the turn order get to attack. Everybody else has to stay put. It's like we found two Battleborn in the ruins, which is actually awesome. It's like totally great. Also, the game has fallen all over itself to give me dies. Let's grab some random Battleborn. Somebody has to get out of the army. You may as well get out of the army in a way that's useful. Look at all the pearls. This is crazy. You go grab all that stuff. There we go. Select these guys. We can get the next step of Lust for Loot done pretty quickly here. So we just gained 70 dies. Something. Alright, so it looks like the, hopefully, we're going to see the Dust Eclipse pop immediately after winter, which is later than I would like, but still probably fine. It probably doesn't slow us down too much. The winter movement penalty sucks, though. Alright, yeah, let's see what's up with this city down here. You guys don't have any move left. So we had to deal with that. Hold on. The wine booster has ended. Yeah, well, that's the way that goes. This guy definitely needs to have orders for next turn, because he's probably still being pursued. You gotta remember, they have more winter vision than we do. And there's a lot of ruins. We probably can't afford to divert from course too much. I'd love to search all these, especially since late game ruin searching is so potentially valuable. But probably have to keep moving here. Give me vision. Don't search that ruin, because we definitely want the hero to get that. Okay, that is an exploitation space. You can see the like the fields laid out on it. So their city is right here. All right, let's wrap up one more battle. So they have Orc 3, which is actually a worse unit. Orc 4, which is higher on attack, but still not great on damage. This is a lot. It's a lot of dudes. The good news is they have no garrison. The bad news is I'm not 100% sure how this is going to go. We certainly can't afford to not try, though. And if we do win this battle, it's huge for us. Also, holy crap, I just looked at the time. Boy, it does not feel like it has been that long. I'm having a good time here. I'm enjoying the complexity of the battles and like making sure we're guiding our proliferators optimally and stuff. So this actually really sucks. They're all in their city. Can we... They have 3 range. I'm wondering if we can back up enough to draw them out. Actually, it's not really letting me select wing units here. There we go. If we do this, we can afford to cover one of the reinforcement slots because we actually only have 3 units coming in. We're not slowing anything down here. But this makes them all have to move at least one space. And then we can just, you know, have at them once they've done that. Yeah. Try to get them to come out of the city. Okay, bad news. Our High Inquisitor is going to obsess about buffing our units. It's going to cause some serious problems. So we're going to give her an attack order. And if we're very, very lucky, she's going to follow. But more likely, if the thing she is ordered to attack is dead by the time her turn comes around, she's almost certainly just going to buff somebody. And I'd really rather have her attacking to apply exhaustion, honestly. It's a smaller debuff than her buff is as a buff, but it affects everybody. So you should attack this one. Alright, yeah. So we got them running out. They're going to attack the proliferator. Not really a lot I can do about that. There was no position I could put the proliferator where it was guaranteed to be able to survive the turn, because they have 3 move and 3 range. Yeah, that sucks. We're not going to get a bunch of new Battleborn over the course of this battle, but unfortunately, like I'm saying, we have no options. They keep their morale until the end of the turn, which is why they're still impossible to damage. Boy, that's an aggressive move. I guess she got a kill, though. She's about to get killed. Okay, so now it is a priority to deal damage to these guys as early in the turn as we can to shut down their sweep strike back. Their plan is to move to here. I don't expect any of their ranged units to move. They generally don't if they don't have to. So yeah, you guys attack, you guys attack. You just do what you can. I mean, we're probably looking at not having a lot of options for our Necrodrone still this turn. And you should attack, but for Christ's sake, move. These guys have Flying Slayer, by the way. Well, I mean, our Necrodrone wasn't going to get to attack this turn, so that's not a big deal. Yeah, that screwed these guys running that far forward screwed everything up, too. Well, we're going to lose this battle. The good news is we have part of an army already built. Oh, the other good news is some of these units still had free counter. Okay, I mean, we're gonna lose. Because we're gonna have 3 units die here, I think. They're gonna shoot that guy and this guy and this guy. We might only have 2 units die here. But we're not gonna lose by much. The city's gonna be vulnerable. Yeah, I feel pretty okay about that. It's very important, though, that everybody focus on these dudes and not care about the militia. Because that's what's going to kill us. These units running off to fight non-important enemies. Oh, that's right. This guy doesn't get to fire because his health was low enough that the disease kills him. Oh, and finally, we're hitting like I was hoping we'd be hitting. Okay, great stuff. Really, really good hits from the hero. So, everybody now focus on that guy. That's the only unit on the table that matters. But I'm feeling a little bit more confident than I was a moment ago. Okay, that guy's dead. Yeah, man. If we hadn't lost our proliferator on the first round, think of how this battle would have turned out. Oh, he's in the city now. Yep, and there's the buff. Please focus. Alright, now you get to buff somebody. Nope, she didn't even... She had the opportunity and she didn't even take it. Okay, well. Let's take our city. And take points up toward getting last reserves, which is great. And we are at 66 dust and falling, so we cannot really afford to rush this proliferator. What we can do is partially refill this army. Okay, we cannot, unfortunately, quite unite everybody. But we can at least hold on. You definitely need to be producing me... Yeah, maybe I was right about the foragers. Thinking those orcs with Flying Slayer are a problem. Okay, and let's go back to the market and do our normal selling. What I need is a sell it all button. Just a single press, divest myself of all resources. I think we're selling all the dies again. Like, we could get close to having a die booster, maybe. We'd have to get lucky again, though, with the die drops. And honestly, I think we need the dust a lot more. Okay, so 246. We're talking about like 1,000, yeah, 800 dust still on this. That proliferator's just not going to get done. We make another proliferator faster from TID. And then out of here, just produce a forager. That's going to have to be the plan. And I think, unfortunately, with that, we're going to have to call it. I'm so annoyed that we did not get a dust boost, or that we did not get a an eclipse. It would have been a lovely dust boost. Eminvar. Oh, finished a forager. Let's send that guy toward the front. With his fancy modern gear and everything. Then make me one of those, and honestly, we probably need to convert a city or two. For now, we'll stop with just Eminvar to dust production. But we also have the ability to get Strategic Intensifier now, which we will definitely do. And let's just go and apply that in the places where it can be applied. That, honestly, may not get done in time for it to matter. We don't quite have the ability to build one in Jayen, and I actually do want Jayen to finish that. Lesko's about to finish that that settler. And, I mean, I'm still on this, like, we're just gonna wait. We're gonna wait until a dust eclipse comes up. Turns out we haven't needed the stockpiles for the most part. Although that first stockpile drop really, really helped accelerate us. I do not want to try to undersell that. We are in a hell of a position on the back of all those free Battleborn, just coming along at the perfect time. So, this is the position as we end the episode. That's going to be it for us for today. One of those days, you know? Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time when I think we are definitely going to be able to wrap this up one way or another. And we'll see you then.